Freedom fighters, I'm coming back at you with another episode of Truck Talk. Today we're just going to go off the rails, and there was really no set topic. And, I was looking at the news stories recently, and, it's just a bunch of mumble jumble as always, but a few things stood out. But mainly I kind of wanted to go into the conspiracy realm, I guess you would call it. Hear what this news about that they found structures and cities under the Giza pyramids. And I did an alien episode a while back, where I really don't want to tie myself to that. I mean, it's not my main thing, but it's definitely interesting topic to talk about. And conspiracy theories in general, man, it's always good to mix it up and get different ideas and opinions. And it's kind of weird that they're pushing this whole thing. It's always kind of pushed in the front of your mind with these stories every once in a while. You remember when they were finding those obelisks like out in the desert and like all across the world, different areas. And then of course we had the mysterious drone things and all that stuff. Now they're just like, there's always been questions surrounding the pyramids and like the structures, like the Sphinx and Stonehenge and all this stuff, where they're like, these things are too big. Even modern day cranes and multi-ton trucks and bulldozers couldn't move these slabs of stone. So they're like, you're telling us, like a bunch of slave colony workers, move this stuff. And that's where the conspiracy theories get in. People are like, no, they had alien technology or alien help. And then there's a biblical aspect where people talk about the Nephilim. I know WW3 has been on that for a long time, and I've looked into it before. I don't have the full story for you there, and I'm definitely not an expert, so go do your own research into that. But I know it was from the book of Enoch, which is supposedly a hidden chapter of the Bible, or maybe it was the scrolls that are hidden within the Vatican. But one of these books got out or something like that, and they talked about this, giant species of people, or I can't remember if they were like fallen gods or what they were said, but they were supposedly, sent here, and there's reports of them, mingling with man and stuff like that. And, Dabu's always said that they intertwined with humans. They mated with, human females, which supposedly they weren't supposed to do, but they did anyway. And they said that's why he's proposed that there's Nephilim bloodline within humans that I guess is supposedly like the elites, or a hidden, bloodline within people. And he's always suggested that these blood tests and stuff like that, were searching for that. And just recently you have this 23andMe place going bankrupt. People have always suspected those places were, nefariously collecting blood and, doing research on people, during the whole event that we had there in 2020 with the C-19 and all the tests and, nasal swabs and tongue swabs and rear end swabs if you were in China, and blood tests and all that. People are saying, they were searching for certain blood types and, all this stuff. So, that's a pretty interesting, thing to speculate on, man. I just kind of want to know your opinion on that. It's pretty wild to think, there's stuff on Earth that we don't even have a clue how it was built. Where did it come from? And what was its purpose? I mean, people have talked about that these were like the early version of like hydrogen, what do they call that thing? Hadron Collider. That these things were opening up portals, or they were like energy weapons, or, major like batteries, or that the cities underneath were operating under the energy that the pyramids were collecting. that aliens were traveling. There were beacons that, were basically like runways that the aliens would, detect to travel to, and all different kinds of stuff, man. But we're speculating here. We're going crazy. We're going wild today, talking about the conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Um, talking about all these conspiracy theories. What are some other conspiracies people talk about that are, a lot of these conspiracy theories end up turning up being factual. So, but other conspiracy theories people talk about. What about climate change, man? That's one I've always, gone back and forth with people. And you have the climate cult people who will, go nuts over that stuff. And, there was this one really good video that Canadian Prepper did with this guy, and I can't for the life of me remember this dude, but he was talking about all this climate stuff, and he came at it better than anyone I've ever heard say it. Usually these guys are kooks, and they don't speak too eloquently, and they're retarded, and like you never want to hear this stuff, especially from like Nancy Pelosi or the figureheads, right? Like Obama and Clinton. You don't want to be talked down to by these people. And it's always that you can't drive your car, you can't wash your clothes, or you can't have a gas lawnmower because, you're ruining society. Meanwhile, they fly around on jets. But this guy was making a point, and then he even said that, he talked to his uncle, which was more of like a conservative kind of style guy. And then once he told him about, the changes, the authoritarian solutions that needed to be put in place to stop climate change, that's when he was like, oh, well, I never really believed in that stuff anyway. Which is, the whole point, I believe what it's really about is, control and locking down the population. And Kamala, during the campaign slipped up. And she was like, you remember, invest in electric vehicles and, all that stuff. And, Elon was the hero back in the day. And then it was, the reduced, she said, we're going to have a reduced population and, our children can breathe clean air again and drink clean water with electric vehicles, when we reduce the population and get rid of you fucking peasants. I mean, that's not what she really said, but essentially that's what she was saying. She's like, then our children can breathe and drink clean water again. And Obama said the same thing, man. He said, he was in some like African summit or something one time where he's like, not everybody can have a house, with AC, and not everyone can drive a car around because then, the world will explode. So basically, their plan is, again, you're in the Matchbox apartment, you're in the pods, and you eat the bugs, and, take it and live with it. You bigot, we live in a society. You're just going to have to deal with it. And other conspiracy theories, I mean, the Georgia Guidestones we've talked about, they took those down, but it doesn't mean that the plan still isn't in motion. And I was thinking about the other day, the 2025 Deagle report, where they said, the world was going to be, or the whole world's population was going to decrease, but America had huge decreases. We're talking like, I want to say like half of America or something, or even more than that. I think they said 50 million Americans will remain, which what's the current population, like 330 million? So, I mean, that's like upwards of like 75%. That's like 3/4 of the country. Which I think is all coming towards, World War III or a larger event that I feel we all feel is on the horizon. We'll probably talk about World War III again. I mean, that's definitely a topic that's going to rear its head over and over. Trump just said that, he was pissed off with Putin after, supposedly having good talks and all that. It's all theater, man. It's all coming to a head. It's all going down anyway. But, let me know, man. Let me know what your favorite conspiracy theory is, or, whatever wild theory or idea you got going. Of course, there's I guess the big one in the topics right now, talked by Candace Owens, and Tucker's talked about it a little bit. Nick on Twitter and Yay and all that stuff. That the Jays are running the world. A small little tribe out there in the Middle East, or the one. All right, well, here I am coming back at you. They shut me down while talking about conspiracy theories, and I think it was timely shut down right at a moment where I was talking about a certain tribe running the world. But nah, man, all jokes aside, I mean, this phone has been doing that. It's a piece of crap. It either the battery rapidly drains out and phone shuts off, and the memory is filled and all that. So the videos and stuff are always shutting down and glitching on me and everything. I need to get a new phone. But anyway, yeah, so you can help me by, liking, sharing, subscribing to the content. I think I'm just going to leave it off anyway. That's not the conversation to have on the tube anyway. That'll get you heavily censored, which I'm already, banned into the shadow realm of oblivion anyway. But yeah, man, if I missed a certain topic, your favorite conspiracy theory or anything, let me know. We'll maybe talk about it on another video. We're definitely going to have a lot more to talk about, because the craziness never stops. But until the next one, man, you know what it is. We are on our own. Nobody's coming to save us. So get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.